Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Andrew, currently a gap year student entrepreneur in Malaysia, and on this channel, we explore ways to improve our work, our life, and ourselves in general. Today, I'd like to share about how to prepare yourself to complete a full marathon. So yeah, how do you find this outfit? This is literally the shirt which I use for my running training once every 2 days. Yeah. But yeah, this headband I recently just got this because I think I'll be wearing this very soon for all my runs and all that, because my hair is growing longer and I don't think I'll be cutting them soon. But yes, let's now start with my marathon experience. So it all started in 2016 when me and my dad just started going for regular training in a park where we run around, I run around 3 km every single time, with hopes to complete the standard chartered KL marathon 10 km run. So that's like my simple goal in 2016. After that, my running journey started. Mainly, I think I was motivated by the fact that the accomplishment you get from every single run feels very good. And then I guess I do like running as well, because if you ask me now I really like running. But another thing is that when you join all these races, it's very fun and you get to see the city in different ways which you never really seen before. Because when we're driving, we just drive so fast that we never slow down to see things. So yeah, when you are running through the roads in the city, you actually get to explore the city in different ways. And in 2017, I went for my first 21 km run, because mainly me and my dad just wanted to start joining 21 km runs if they do provide the finisher tee. So yeah, because 10 km run are a bit short and then they are lower priced, so you only get a running tee, you don't really get a finisher tee. So some 21 km and most of the 42 km they do provide that, but we are still not at the stage where we want to join 42. So in 21, so we decided to join some 21 that comes with finisher tee. It was quite cool, but that was a great experience as well, and that just pushed me into wanting to join longer and longer races. In 2018, I went for my first ever 42 km, and it was the Penang Bridge Full Marathon. So basically, I wanted to join because it's quite fun. At least I feel like it's very fun because you get to run across the Penang Bridge, which is like a bridge to one of our island, the Penang Island, which is actually quite I think one of like the second or third biggest city in Malaysia. So it's actually quite fun. It just feels like it's quite fun, and the experience is definitely memorable. But is it amazing? It's not really that amazing, because first thing, it rained heavily during that rain, and after running on a bridge, I realized that running bridges might not be a good idea. But I may just go back for it because I just would like to experience it another time. But yeah, that was actually my best running record with a record of 4 hours, 23 minutes and 41 seconds over the whole run. So I haven't beat that record yet, but until now I've only completed 2 full marathons. That's one of them. So yeah, but yes, that's basically my whole story, starting from when I started running to finishing my first marathon. Now let's talk about how to prepare yourself to complete a full marathon. First, you need to train regularly. So from back then until now, I train around 2 to 3 times a week, and when I started in 2016, every time when I train, I run around 3 km. But I think closer to the end of 2016 or like early 2017, I was running around 6 km every single time, because training regularly is important as it helps you build your breathing rhythm, and it prevents injuries when you join a real race. Because once you got used to running, you will know how much force you should put into and how much effort you should put into each race, and that will prevent like cramps and all that. So training is actually very important. But yes, I don't mean that you have to start off just like training for 2-3 times every single week. It's okay to start training like once a week or something like that. But eventually you have to build up and then try to build longer distance over the long run. Because if you want to complete 42 km, training 3 km every time is definitely not enough. Many people try to run fast when they're running, but when we talk about full marathon, speed isn't a priority anymore. The distance is. So the main thing for you in a full marathon is to complete the whole distance. And another thing is that when you're running 10 km and 42 km, they are different as well. You definitely be running faster on the 10 km, but not the 42 km. My 10 km average pace is around 5 minutes per km, but my 42 km pace is around 6 minutes 30 seconds. So yeah, you can see that that's actually quite a huge difference between both of them. So it's more important for you to train yourself to complete the distance first before you start to add up speed and everything. So just run slow and complete the distance, and then slowly build your pace second by second, literally. If you get to improve by 1 second, that's already very good. But that comes after you learn to complete the full distance. When you join races, don't straight and go for a 42 km distance. It's important to start from shorter distances. Like me, I started from 10 km and then 21 km and then eventually 42 km. If you find that 10 km is still too long for you, it's fine to start from a 5 as well. If you start directly with 42 km, it's very likely that you can't complete the full distance and you will end up walking more than half of the distance. And another reason is that you need to start slowly from shorter distance, because you want to feel how a race feels like first, and then you want to see your progress. So from 5 km to 10 km, you see whether you are now ready for 10 km, and then slowly on to 21 km, you see whether you're ready for 21, and when you're fully ready for 21, maybe you can try 42. That's the whole process. And another thing is that because you usually can't, most people just don't train above 10 km. I do train 21 as well, so I run a full 21 course on myself, but I rarely do that as well because it takes a lot of time and then it takes a lot of willpower and all that as well. So joining all this 21 km run and all this let you see how much you have improved in terms of performance before you actually go ahead with your first 42 km full marathon distance. Once you're joining 10 km or above races, it's important for you to buy a pair of long distance running shoes. So every single shoes are designed for a different purpose, I believe. Many people know that. So there are casual shoes, there are formal shoes, there are like short distance running shoes, and then there are long distance running shoes and all that. There's even sprinting shoes and all this. So it's important for you to just get to your nearest sportwear shop and then like just ask for recommendation, or you can search yourself online. So I like to use the website Soul Review to search on shoes, and then they actually tell me whether these shoes are designed up to like 10 km distance, half marathon distance, full marathon distance, or even ultra marathon distance. So that gave me a lot of info. Basically, a good long distance running shoe has high durability, so it won't break during the run, and that's very important. You don't want to end up with a broken shoe in the middle of the run and end up running barefooted after that. But yes, ultimately when it comes to shoes, you still have to try and make sure that it's comfortable on your feet. That's the main thing. And if you're an overpronator and looking for marathon shoes, maybe you can check out the video above where I actually share about how to find marathon shoes as an overpronator, because me myself is actually an overpronator. There's always this saying, you run fast alone, but you run further when you're in a group. Full marathon training is a very long process, long commitment and all that. It requires a lot of willpower and a lot of discipline to do this. So it's better for you to find a running partner or join a running group so that with more people, you are able to motivate each other to continue on this full marathon training journey. You don't necessarily have to train with them all the time, but having them by your side, like maybe at least once a week regularly, helps a lot, especially when on some days you just don't feel like training at all. And another thing is that when you're going on a long journey like this, like a full marathon training, it helps to have someone by your side where you can share and talk about this whole journey. It's actually quite fun. After all this, completing a full marathon of 42 km shouldn't be a problem for you. It's most likely that you can't just like run through the whole journey, you still end up walking. But the main thing is that you completed it. Even for me, now that I've completed 2 marathons, I still can't run through the whole thing. I still walk, but at least I know that I can run for more than 30 km. So I only walk for like the last 12 km or less. It'll be a long journey before you get to complete your first full marathon. It took me 2 years. But yes, after all this, when you get to run through the finishing line, it's definitely, it feels great. And then, yeah, for now, I'm just basically hoping that I can join the next full marathon and complete it after the COVID pandemic. And after that, I hope to get myself the World Marathon Majors 6-in-1 medal. That is like my ultimate goal in this whole running journey. If you like this video, do like, share and subscribe. Maybe consider checking out my previous video where I vlogged about my house dog day in life. Or maybe you can check out the Incongruous podcast, which is actually a podcast created by me and my girlfriend Verene, where we talk about incongruous thoughts in our daily life. Thanks everyone for watching and hope to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.